Because if you have a room that is 98, 99% white, and you say that's like Obama's 08 convention, excuse me, wait a minute.
He's a narcissist. These are the DSM-5 criteria for narcissistic personality disorder.
It's too bad the bandage was just over his ear. It should have been over his mouth.
Mr. Comparator,
Well, exactly. Comparator, yeah.
Comparator. I was sickened by them using him as a prop, his firefighter jacket.
It's rooted in returning white Christian men, but also white men and white adjacent men, you know,
Right.
black men, brown
Right.
men who are like white adjacent in terms of trying to also be in that dominant position in society.
When you say something like God was watching me, that is a very unchristian thing to say because it's very narcissistic.
But yeah, if you're seeing everything through the lens of race.
No, but
What's going on, guys? So we got a quick video here that I just got to react to this. I was just planning on just watching this. I wasn't sure if it was worthy of an entire video, but I felt like this was kind of hilarious to me. So hopefully you guys can get some enjoyment out of this as well. Okay, so Trump deranged Jessica Tarlov. Okay, I kind of wondered what happened to this lady because I'm kind of dumb and I forgot that she had went on maternity leave. So somebody somewhere out there finds her attractive. She went on maternity leave, but now she's back and she is on the 5. Now she's basically one of the only leftists that they have. There's like, I think one more person, but at least that person's more reasonable. Jessica Tarlov, just a straight up Trump deranged Looney Tune, deserving of being on probably CNN somewhere. She's CNN level. She's not quite Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow level. Okay, she's not just straight up mentally ill, but she definitely has hardcore Trump derangement and sees things through these very strange lenses. And of course, she gets obliterated by the 5. So without further ado, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's just see it.
I mean, white adjacent, the bandage over your mouth instead of bandage over your ear. It's one thing to make a critique, which I think you did, and you know, a lot of us took issue with that. It's another thing to just sling this kind of stuff.
yeah, I think that you have to be very precise and fact-based when you are making a critique of that level. And there are ways to do it. And I aspire to do that. So use the numbers, use first-person observation. If you're not in the room, it's really hard also to read the room. And I was in the room. And so I understood that that was a completely unified room. I also understood that that was not a racially diverse room. There were Latinos there and there were some black people there. And I found the pastor from Detroit actually quite compelling.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine President Donald Trump coming to a city and calling a pastor like me, a pastor who was born and raised on the east side of Detroit? I was mentored by murderers. I was a student of the street. But I had a radical experience with Jesus Christ that changed my life forever. Come on, if you believe that Jesus still changed lives, come on, put your hands together and give our great God great glory. President Trump came to a church that is in a Democratic stronghold. He came to a church to listen to average, everyday Americans like you and like me. He came to a church not to speak to us, but to listen to us. He came into a church, and a lot of people, they were upset. A lot of people, they would ask me questions. Why would you allow Donald Trump to come into your church? How many know that the Bible says we are all sinners and we all need the grace of God? How many know that the Bible says, he who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone? President Donald Trump, he came during his birthday weekend. Let me ask you a question. Grand old party, what would you do for your birthday if you were worth $6.7 billion? What would you do for your birthday? Would you come to Detroit? Would you come into the hood? He came to the hood because he cares about average, everyday Americans.
who spoke at the church that Donald Trump had visited, though there were a lot of
he
white
was great.
supporters in there.
Yeah.
But I get how that is galvanizing. But that's really what led me to take issue with what Van Jones was saying. Because if you have a room that is 98, 99% white, and you say that's like Obama's 08 convention, excuse me, wait a minute. The delegate.
This lady's trying to say because it's not racially diverse enough, then we can't consider it like as bombastic as Obama's DNC convention back in the day. But here's the thing, like, yes, we already know that there is not as many people of color, be them black or Hispanic or any of these other groups in the Republican Party yet. But hey, trust me, the days of the Democrats are numbered. It's only a matter of time. All of these podcasters and stuff are just going to keep on building up bigger and bigger viewership, okay? It's more subscribers on this channel and plenty of others every day. So we coming for all of the freaking black and Hispanic and the Asian and the Indian and the LGBTQ. Everybody is welcome. Just don't be a crazed lunatic leftist who wishes violence upon people, and you're welcome in the club. It's really that simple.
It's the people who attended the convention in 08 were some of the most.
The energy
But
level.
yeah, if you're seeing everything through the lens of race.
No, but you guys do. But it's not just that. You guys do as well. Anytime there's a poll that comes out that says that Donald Trump is getting some historic number of black voters, it's the first thing everyone wants to talk about. They're like, I got something good. You're losing black people. Or
You see how disingenuous this lady is? You're comparing polls, things that are going to allow you to win an election, to people at a freaking convention. Just because you see people at the convention, I wasn't at the convention. Okay, but I would have loved to have gone. I'm sure a lot of people that are people of color that are going to vote for Trump, I know a lot of them that are black voting for Trump. None of us went to the convention. If it was Obama back in the day, I wouldn't have went there either. Okay, but Obama technically is at least African American, at least halfway or whatever. That makes a lot more sense than to just expect a bunch of black folks to just show up for Trump all of a sudden, and then this lady tries to act like it's a big deal because, well, it's not that many black people there, so, you know, it's not quite as good as the Obama one. Like, do you really think that Jessica Tarlov hangs around black folks? Like, guys, let's get real here.
You're losing Latino voters, or you're going to lose the
because they
Gen Z
didn't
vote.
make their way till Milwaukee, you're saying that's not happening.
I'm saying that the delegates and the people who are out there the most enthusiastically about Donald Trump are predominantly white. You're going to refute that?
I just don't know how this conversation.
I don't know how we got there. I will say this about Joy Behar's comments. It's highly offensive to anyone who has faith in God, belief in God.
So yeah, so if you guys have not seen my previous video, definitely go back and see it, where Joy Behar gets triggered because Donald Trump is thankful to the Lord that he survived the assassins, not one bullet, but multiple bullets that he fired, okay? Because if this guy would have been a hot shot, then he shot multiple bullets. He would have lit Trump up before he would have even knew what happened. Instead, he probably shot one, and then the recoil kind of threw him off. That's why his bullets was going all over the place, because when they hit Corey wasn't even like over there. He was like in the stands, and I'm like, how the heck did you hit Corey? Like, this dude's aim must be trash. But anyway, let's keep going.
Or they're grateful to God for what is happening in their life. It's highly offensive and, to make the case, unchristian to judge someone for that. I thought that was kind of sad. But Morning Joe says on the new Dawn, don't praise his new tone. I found this unbelievable if you listen to them reacting to what they heard last night. I do think we need a moratorium in the media about praising Donald Trump's new tone. That doesn't ever happen on this show, mind you. So not only do they want to silence anybody in the American public who's observing this new Don or the softer tone, they want to silence the media this morning and today following that speech last night. That's pretty remarkable.
That Morning Joe would have been calling for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's what they do. That's what they do.
I mean,
they shut you down, whether it's social media, whether it's making you feel ostracized, whether it's canceling you. It's what they do.
It's just this idea that people cannot think for themselves and conclude for themselves what they heard.
And says the show they got pulled off of the air
Yeah,
on Monday morning
of all
because
shows.
their own management didn't trust them not to say something wild and incendiary
right.
about an assassination attempt.
And there's that. Yes.
Man, I wish I would have had some time to talk more about Morning Joe, that freaking clown, and how his own network didn't want to have him on after Donald Trump was shot in the ear because they know that he's a Trump deranged idiot, him and his wife, and they're going to sit up there and probably get the whole freaking network of MSDNC canceled. I'm surprised that these losers haven't been canceled already because they got Trump deranged Joy Reid on there talking about Joe Biden surviving COVID is the equivalent to Donald Trump surviving a bullet. Just pure stupidity. And I've enjoyed Jessica Tarlov getting cooked, okay, as she should. Hope you guys did too. Now, do you think that the convention shouldn't be celebrated because mainly white people showed up to the convention? Do I not count because I'm not a million other black people, or because I didn't show up to the convention? I mean, like, what is she trying to say here? There's plenty of people of color that are minorities that love Donald Trump and want him to get elected. But Jessica Tarlov doesn't think we're important enough because we didn't show up and show out to support him at the RNC convention. Bear in mind that there's only so many people that could fit up in there. So I'm not really sure how many people. I mean, it looked like it was freaking wall to wall. It looked like it was multiple different layers. I'm like, Jessica, how many people you think could fit up in the damn building? These are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching Black and I'm Lee Rising channel. I'm out.
Don't call it an insult because you say that God was watching over us. I hope that God watches over us every day. And it transcends left and right.
Amen.
But they're so deep in the left, they can't see the bigger picture.